Yeah. This morning, the decision to charge former Donald Trump advisor Steve Bannon with criminal contempt now lies with the Department of Justice. On Thursday, the House of Representatives passed a resolution finding Bannon in contempt of Congress. He refused to comply with a January 6th committee subpoena. Representatives on both sides of the aisle clashed ahead of that vote. Take a listen.
The Select Committee despises Steve Bannon's politics, so they're abusing their power to put him in jail.
You cannot blow off a subpoena in America. You cannot sit on your couch and defy the people's representatives in Congress.
Fiery words. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ali Vitali joins us now. She's been following this. Ali, now that this is in the hands of the DOJ, let's talk about the timeline here. What comes next, and is this going to be a long, drawn-out process?
Well, the timeline is important because, as you and I have been talking about all week, the committee is up against the clock, specifically that next November election in 2022. If Republicans were to retake the House, that would really blow up the January 6th committee's ability to investigate this in the way that they have been and the way that they want to going forward. What we're going to see now that the House has voted this over to the Department of Justice is DOJ will confirm receipt, and then that's pretty much it until we either see that charges have been filed and the DOJ has chosen to move forward to prosecute, or alternatively, they may not do that at all. And we could hear from Steve Bannon's lawyer who says, hey, my client hasn't seen any further action on this, and they're going to move forward in that way as well. I think the important thing from yesterday, though, is that this is, again, about upholding the Congress's ability to subpoena for information and have those subpoenas be obeyed.
We got to see how quickly the wheels of justice move. We knew the two Republicans on the January 6th committee, Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney, they were going to vote with the Democrats. But then 7 other Republicans also voted to pass that resolution finding Bannon in contempt. What can you tell us about these 7?
Yeah, Kinzinger and Cheney, not surprising. They are the only 2 people on the Republican side on the committee. But at the same time, then, there were 9 of them total. 7 of those 9 people voted to impeach former President Donald Trump during his second impeachment, the one where they discussed the role that he played in fomenting the January 6th insurrection. We knew that there could have been 10 of those such Republicans. Those are the 10 who voted to impeach. We saw 7 of them then come over and join Democrats yesterday in this vote to refer the Steve Bannon subpoena off the floor of the House and over to the Department of Justice. The other 2 folks there I thought were really interesting. Brian Fitzpatrick comes from a bellwether district in Pennsylvania. He voted with the Democrats to move this off the floor and over to DOJ. And then Congresswoman Nancy Mace, she was fascinating because she did this for the larger power here, the power of subpoena of Congress that you and I were just talking about. She says that she wants to see that be able to be upheld and have the power that it needs to have to mean something once Republicans retake the House. She wants to see that precedent kept, and that's why she referred the Bannon contempt referral over to DOJ.
So there are a few other people who have been instructed by the January 6th committee to appear for depositions. Do you know anything about them, and what's the word on the street of whether or not they're going to go the Bannon route, ignore it, or actually appear?
Well, look, we're always asking, but when I last caught up with Chairman Benny Thompson, he told me that Bannon was the only one who wasn't complying or in conversation with the committee in some way. They've had people come forward voluntarily. They have thousands of documents coming their way from subpoena requests and other requests made from everything from telecom and tech companies, also to the individual level, because we've seen subpoenas flying out the door over the last few weeks. Many of those deadlines are still coming. The month of October was rife with deadlines for the January 6th committee for people to comply with subpoenas. But even of just those big 4, Mark Meadows, Steve Bannon, Kash Patel, and Dan Scavino, they were all served at the same time. Scavino's timeline now is a little bit different because they had a little trouble finding him initially to serve him the subpoena. They did find him, though, and now his timeline is on. But for Kash Patel and Mark Meadows, they've at least been talking with the committee on the legal level, on the lawyer level. So they are seeing from everyone else who they've subpoenaed so far. Chairman Thompson says Bannon is the only one who they are not actively talking with and who is not complying in some form or fashion with the subpoena request. That's going to be notable, though, because again, the Bannon work that we've seen them do this week, it's meant to pressure not just Bannon to comply, but anyone else that the committee may subpoena going forward. They want to make sure that everyone is working with them.
Ali, TikTok, thanks so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.